This how we do it at the table, y'all. Oh, maybe not.
There we go.
Okay.
Why we
We
got Jen
live.
Mafia in the back
Here
room?
we go. Here we
There
go.
we go. There y'all go. Y'all about to show up. I see
Okay.
y'all short.
Let me see. Let me see.
Waiting. You can't see us, but hey,
Yeah.
do we look good?
There we go.
You see us?
I see you. I see you on Toy Phone.
Do you see us?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I ain't recording yet, so let me somebody watching.
That's me.
Hey, y'all,
I'm
one
about to
viewer.
send- I'm about to- Hold on, let me get
We need a little bit more light on Tasha and Sade.
Oh yeah. Well, give me some light.
You thank you.
You sure I already know I'm the dark
you think I
skin
should put
type.
that light on, the kitchen light on? Y'all can't work, but y'all gotta look at each other.
Oh my man. I'm just looking at me like,
Yeah,
hey.
exactly.
Okay, no, the lighting is a lot better when you
like
move
it's
it over.
Do y'all want me to? I could hire. Y'all, y'all want me to go hire?
I like where the camera is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Now, this is only 1080. Which y'all see, even though this 4K, the highest that goes 480 on screen yards. But what y'all see when we record, when we listen, it be in 4K. So it won't look like that.
Okay.
So just so y'all know, that's exactly why I'm doing it twice. Yeah, behind the scenes. Before I start recording this, y'all can talk 'cause y'all on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Before I start recording this, though, I want to give y'all.
I was gonna wait until you record that because that's the one that you're gonna.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that while it's recording. Waste record time. Y'all tell people that y'all watch.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying? I'll send you a text message.
Bear with us, everyone. We're just waiting for more people to join.
Mm-hmm.
Come in, come in. All is welcome.
Oh, hold on.
You gotta turn the volume off.
This time we got volume. Last time.
It was shut off. Yeah. Let's see how many people want to join the live. We'll see. We'll see.
We got to share it. That's all. I'm about to send it to y'all, so y'all can send it to who else. Yeah. So, okay, here's the. And then I need to pay attention to the chat as well. So, here's the link. And y'all, I'll send y'all the link. So y'all can send the link to whoever y'all want to watch it.
Should this be like a group or something, or just send it to
Y'all
whomever?
want me to send? Do y'all want me to send? Only problem is y'all won't be able to hear her unless I'll give out the I won't say
Why is the guy asking me text questions right now?
let me share this.
My damn nerves.
Next time I will definitely have a different. It won't say Jim Mafia. Share this to Facebook.
Right now it's 4 people watching, but I have a feeling it's all of us.
So we should do. Okay, y'all hear it? So who want me to let me get the link for somebody to jump on the stream yard. Let me see, copy that, and I will give that to y'all. Because if somebody come on the stream yard, they could just jump in on the jump directly. And I'm I'm going to solve the problem in a second so y'all can hear me. So give me 2 seconds. Hang on to your time. I should have did that already. So, Kawan, if y'all want her to jump in, she could jump in.
Did you already put it on our group, Shawty?
Production behind the scenes.
I'm reading them over there.
Get out the live.
Why the delay so serious though?
The delay is funny though. Well, you just put it in there.
Yeah, I was asking you, so I wouldn't put it twice.
I put the stream on it. You recording?
No, he's not.
Okay. I feel like it's gonna be a fun episode. What y'all think?
Me
Yeah, I
too.
think it's gonna be fun. I think every episode is fun. I just love talking.
Look at Kane.
People.
I can't get in that damn group chat. Tell him get off because we about to talk about
Oh yeah, y'all. Should I just
tell you, no, go ahead and tell your kids to get off the chat.
Everyone who lives in my household should probably leave the room.
Thank
Just until later. Wait till it's edited.
you.
Maybe.
Get off the live right now. Come on, you can stay on though.
Yeah, please stay on. You should actually join.
Oh yeah, we sent the link so you can join if you want to, sis.
So which way are we going first? The last question.
Want to do the last one first? Okay.
It's totally up to you.
No, screw it.
Last question. Okay. Trying to think of advice I'll give her. She needed a lot of it.
I love it. Like, it's probably going
She
to take
needed a lot of it.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
Probably the main one.
Wait till we record to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel like you have a lot of advice for young Miss Houseboy?
A lot.
Yeah. She went through some stuff she wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think everything you went through was necessary.
Yeah.
We gonna wait.
I get that. My thing is, would she even have listened to it? That's my question.
Probably not.
If it's coming from your older self to her,
Mhm.
yeah, because it's like, say if you could go back to the past and speak to yourself.
Yeah.
It would definitely be beneficial, but a lot of people already are. They hear from their older self, like really, honestly, because you hear people around you saying stuff all the time,
Mhm.
and it's like you don't know yourself. You're not me. You're not going what I'm going. You don't live my life.
Yeah. If you had the perspective of knowing, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Technical difficulties.
It's the first one, y'all. We just chilling.
Yeah.
Working some shit out. No big thing. Nothing serious,
Yeah, and it's okay.
Nobody died.
I'm still alive.
Not a calling number. I love El producer.
Yeah, he's awesome. The best.
This is true behind the scenes right now.
Book him.
Double cheeked up on Thursday over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all ready? This is the motherfucking first episode, Jordan. tell me how it is. You tell me how it is.
Welcome to Bring It to the Table. Ladies, it's definitely a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I'm happy to be
absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
I think we need to get cheers it up first show,
Yeah.
Yes.
Cheers it up.
Love
All right. So we'll be bringing a lot of different discussions to the table.
Right.
And first thing I want to discuss is what is one thing you would say to your younger self?
Ooh, that's a deep one. That's a real one. Mom, you want to go first?
Yeah, it's definitely a real one. What would I tell my younger self? I honestly can say that it's probably too much for one discussion, but I would definitely start with I'm telling my younger self to stay focused on what makes me happy. On what I want for my future to look like. Strengthen the areas that I possess, like the natural gifts that I was born with. Focus on them, strengthen them, and versus focusing on other people's businesses. That's going to better their future. So don't waste time building other people's businesses and things like that. Just basically focus on myself to create the future that I want.
Yeah. That's like I feel like general across the board. I feel like a lot of people could benefit hearing that from somebody. And I agree 100%. I think younger me probably needed to hear something similar to that, but more along the lines of like time wasting. Like it's really important that you don't waste time in positions, jobs that are not benefiting you, that are not making you feel like you're receiving an adequate salary, and relationships that are literally going nowhere. It doesn't take somebody, 5 years to let you know that you're important or that they want to marry you. Like it's important for you to kind of put all that stuff into context and perspective and don't waste time in things that are not serving you. Time is valuable, and you're honestly gonna wish you had it back. You gonna wish you had that shit back real bad.
Definitely.
Yeah. What about you, Toy?
I think one thing I would say to myself is you're loved. And the reason why that constantly came to my mind when I was thinking about the question is because when I was younger, I used to try to impress people for their love. I would talk a certain way, I would look a certain way, I would act a certain way. I wouldn't even be myself just because I wanted to know that I'm loved. And as you get older, that's when you realize just be you. You're loved regardless. Just be yourself. Like most importantly, love yourself. That's the only love that really matters is the love that you have for yourself. So I would definitely let myself know that you are loved and just to be yourself, be comfortable with who you are, how you look, how you speak. You don't have to impress anyone. I did a lot of that when I was younger. And then also not to be so hard on myself. Like I used to push myself to strive so much to make others happy as far as my job, what I had at a certain age, what I was doing. And just be happy within yourself more. So don't try to impress the world.
I love that so much because comparison is really the thief of joy. Like when you compare yourself to other people or where they are and when they were your same age in life, it just starts to kind of bog you down and make you feel like you're working towards something that's not even meant for you. Like you know what I mean? Like that person has what they have because that's what was meant for them. And if it's not meant for you right now, then you need to keep focused on what you're supposed to be focusing on right now. I love that. I agree. Yeah.
Because definitely you'll be trying and striving for something that you'll never reach.
Yeah.
It's just impossible for you because it's not for you.
Yeah.
So I completely agree.
I feel like younger me needed to hear all that.
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's so much. So, the loving yourself part, I think that I definitely looked outward for love versus looking inward. I think it was basically because it was more so a cycle that was going on in my family where there was a lot of teenage pregnancy. So it was easy to fall for someone who was showing you what they thought was love at the time. Um, and I think that if I didn't fall into those same traps and cycles in life, I probably would have completed a lot that I regret now. Um, Not that I regret everything that I got out of it, but I think that if I would have focused more on me and what was best for me at the time, then I would. Can't say that I would be further along because I feel like I'm definitely on the right path. I feel like I'm on the right path, but I feel like I probably wouldn't have. It wouldn't have maybe taken so long for me to get where I am.
Right.
Um, and probably wouldn't have to go through a lot of the things that I had like struggled so much, even though all that struggle, it was a lot of lessons in there, but a lot of times the struggle can definitely break you. I'm grateful that I'm just not that person to break easily, but it probably would have broken a lot of people.
Mm. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right, ladies, I'm gonna change it up a bit.
all right.
So when invited out,
Mhm.
someone invites you out, should you pay? Do you feel as though you should pay or not?
Ooh, I honestly feel like this is like on the same lines as that conversation with your younger self. Because I wish when I started dating, somebody would have told me the etiquette, the rules to dating. And if somebody asks you out, I don't think that you're supposed to come out of pocket. I think the person who is the asker, the person who is the pursuer, the person who is the will you go out with me
Yes.
they put the money on the table because you asked me.
Yes.
I mean, and if I ask you, then I'm willing to do that as well. But that's just how
yes.
that's not how I used to operate, but that's how I generally feel right now in my life.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. So if 5 of your homegirls,
Uh-huh.
right, and one of them invite all 5 of you out,
Okay.
should she pay for all 5?
I think it's different when you're in dating
Yeah, 'cause-
situation.
Yeah, that's a group girls night out.
Yeah,
So that's
we
totally
pay for ourselves.
different. Yeah, everybody should pay for themselves.
Yeah, we
Unless,
split the check.
we can
Mhm.
split the check, but when you're asked out on a date, by men or female, depending on, what the situation is, I think that the person who's asking should definitely be prepared to pay for the bill. That's just etiquette. I'm always going to be prepared either way. But,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and if you feel as though that you don't want to pay or you don't plan to pay, that should be a discussion beforehand.
Mhm.
You should definitely not invite somebody out. Say, would you like to go
Yeah.
this place or that place, and you're not prepared to pay.
I hate
To
that I
me,
forgot my
that
wallet in the car or
yeah,
something like
that
Oh
that.
my
that's
goodness, yes.
what?
So
Why?
speaking of that, so
Mhm.
you experienced where you went out with someone.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. We went out. I think he ordered like some sushi or whatever, and he just could not afford. I guess he didn't think it'll cost that much, but that's not, that's not a tuna roll. That's different. So he's just like, I think I left my wallet, and you can spot me, and I'll cash app you later. I'll cash app you the money back.
Did he cash out?
I don't want to say. No, that nigga ain't cash app me back. He did not.
For me, I'm thank God I've never been in that situation. And that's just because I like to fill people out beforehand, and I can tell like if you are a cheap person, it's just certain stuff that don't ask me to go to this place because I know you're not going to be able to. But I thank God I've never had to deal with
I can say I have, and
Mhm.
it must be like a code or something that the men have because it was the same thing. Oh, I left my
Oh.
wallet.
that.
How you get your keys, your phone,
Wow.
but the wallet? Where's your ID?
Exactly.
I got questions.
That's weird.
Exactly.
Yes, it's definitely
Because it probably would not have been a good situation in the restaurant. That is crazy.
It's a secret
Oh, I
society. of
paid, but that
brookies.
was the last time he ever saw or heard from
Yeah,
that
me.
you-
part. That part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
But I didn't get my
that's
money
fine
back.
because I'm just gonna get up. Okay, that's fine. Excuse me, let me go to the restaurant, and then I can just find my own way home. 'Cause
Hold on. So who pay for who? If you leave, who pay for the bill?
I
then?
don't know. That's
Whoever last at the
yeah,
table.
whoever's at the table. Yeah, excuse me. Like what?
Whoever last at the table.
No, we're not doing that. If you ask somebody out, why wouldn't you expect to pay?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Right.
They should expect to pay.
I would never invite somebody somewhere and not expect. Even if I invite you somewhere, if I say, "Okay, Sade, come on, let's go and do this or that," I wouldn't expect you to pay. I honestly would not.
But you know, I'm not gonna let you take.
I know you wouldn't, but
but
still.
it's in a dating situation. It's weird that men would just be like, well, let's see if
Why
she'll
would
pay
you
for
do
it.
that? Like, that's not even man-like. I don't think. Even if you didn't, I don't even know. Even if you meet somebody at the bar.
So I think the issue is not a lot of men. I'm not going to say that.
Mhm.
You have some men, they perpetrate, act like they this and that, they have this and that, okay? And a lot of times, probably before I'm assuming, they didn't go to expensive restaurants.
Yeah.
So when you're like, okay, well, let's go to this restaurant and it's a bit pricey, and then they actually don't have all the money for the bill once it come. Oh, I left my wallet.
You know what, Toy? That's a good point because I do love a bougie restaurant, and I will always recommend like something that's kind of pricey. So maybe you're right. Maybe I need to think about that when I'm thinking
you
about
gotta
the
fill a
people
person out.
Yeah,
Too.
that's
You gotta
true.
fill them out. But the thing is like even if you mention a restaurant that they're not familiar with, they should be doing their research.
That's a good point.
I'm
too,
not gonna
because why
go
don't you look it up.
like if
Look at
you
the
know,
menu, see what you can afford.
yeah, you're taking a lady out. You
Yeah.
should probably do your research to make sure, especially if this is somewhere that you've never been or you never heard of. More than likely, it's probably going to be a little bit pricey.
Well, just be honest. If you don't have the money, just tell me.
After you do your
Don't
research, you
blindside
should
me.
definitely
Yeah.
recommend somewhere else.
Mhm.
Right now, maybe this is not a pay week. Maybe we can go here now. And then when I am
Yeah.
in that position, then I'll take
Cute and smooth and suave. You can say, baby, I love this restaurant. We're gonna go here next week. But this week, let me take you on this hiking trail that I went to last week. I want to show you that
Yeah,
first.
there's a lot of romantic
Yeah.
and expensive dates.
Yeah,
Like
right.
dates that cost no money.
Yeah.
I mean, and cooking at home is number one.
Yeah, before I take you to this 5-star, let me show you my 5-star. Cooking at home.
Exactly.
And it don't have to be this I'm broke and I can't take you there. It could be we not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna expose myself as not being able to afford it, but we just gonna reframe
Right.
the
But
conversation.
that's real though, because everybody have an off pay week,
It's true.
or it can be just a bill week or whatever. Don't
Yeah.
nobody, if that's what your situation is, and this is somebody that you've already built rapport with, and you feel as though that y'all are on that level,
Yeah.
you should definitely be able to be upfront and honest.
Truth be told, I like different.
Mhm.
Take me to a park, lay down a blanket,
Mhm.
have a
Yes.
little bit of snack food or something, great conversation, some music, or bring a little laptop out where we can watch a movie or something
Yeah.
like that.
Wine and
Mhm.
charcuterie board.
Exactly.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Yes, like stuff like that. I prefer
agree.
that over sitting inside of a
I agree.
restaurant.
Because
Very cute.
most of the time you're not really going to enjoy the food like that. Honestly,
And we
they're
wanna
not
get to know
giving
each
you,
other.
yeah, it's not well proportioned. Like for the prices that they, and that's just honestly like this all I get for that little. Okay,
I ain't spending $60 at the Rusty
yeah,
Cup. Right?
like what? No,
I get
and I
it.
don't even really like that food. Okay.
I mean, so back to the question. So I had invited about 10 people out
Mhm.
to dinner to celebrate a birthday. It wasn't my birthday, but someone else's birthday. And I felt as though since I did the invite, and I'm bringing them out to this restaurant, that I would pay the bill. Etiquette thing to do. I got a lot of pushback on it,
They wanted to put in. Yeah.
right? But I took care of it anyway. It was like my invite, I'll take care of it. But in the same token, when me and my husband, when we had everyone come out to the restaurant to celebrate our marriage, we did let people know beforehand, like, look, you're going to be paying
Right.
Exactly.
for the meal.
Mhm.
So I think that when it comes to inviting someone out, as long as you establish that
Yes.
hey, you're going to have to pay and everything, that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But if you're not having that conversation, then I'm assuming your invite is on you.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna be prepared for if I'm
Either
wrong.
way.
Either way.
Right.
But then you have those people who are like, she invited me, I ain't bringing nothing, and I'm paying for
That's
it.
ridiculous.
But because I've been invited on vacations where people are like, hey, we're going on this cruise, come with us, and this is paid for, that's paid for, this is paid for.
Mhm.
So I think you're right in that communication part. It's like, okay, just let me let you know up front, this is what's expected, and this is what
Yeah, I think that should be every case. I mean,
Every
even
case.
if
I agree.
you're invited, you should definitely
Have that conversation.
have
every
that
time.
conversation. Or if you are unsure whether or not you
Mhm.
need to bring your pocketbook, you should probably be asking that person who invited you. What is
Yeah.
this? Is this, something where I need to prepare myself to pay for?
Right.
Or, if you feel as though you just don't want to have that conversation, order the least expensive thing on the menu.
Yeah, girl, get
That
you a
way
little
you're
soup.
not,
Get you a
you
little
know,
branded soup.
yeah,
Man. We ain't gotta
Get
make
a
nobody
salad.
feel bad. Get you
Salad.
something,
Get
girl.
a salad.
and that's fine,
I'll just have
because
a water and a
yeah,
salad.
everybody
Thank
just
you.
don't have it, and that's fine. But I think that when you build those relationships with people, who are going to be the ones
We
who
all
are
got
going to be
that
like,
friend.
girl, yeah, girl, what we doing?
Don't worry
we
about
got
it.
Don't
Just
worry
cash
about
at
it.
me.
Yeah, just
Okay.
cash at me or whatever. Or
We all got that. We all got that home,
yeah,
girl.
it's okay. It's okay to be that way, but you just have to. You can't come expecting nobody to pick your bill up.
Yeah.
And you're a grown person. If there's a kid at the table, that's totally different. But we're all adults. We should be able to pay for ourselves.
Yeah.
If we are going out.
Yeah. And the rules are different when you are with your friends, homies, family versus when you go on a date. Because
yeah, that's
that I'm expecting a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have to expect to pay. I don't even I leave my purse in the car. Ain't no need for me to take it because I don't expect to, if I'm in a relationship, that's something totally different.
Mm.
But a date.
So I got this charm that I like to do. And I don't even know if I should say charm as a woman, but
But what is charm? Because
so I like when my man take me out,
Mhm.
I like to reverse the role. I'm taking you out. Let me pay the
nothing
bill.
wrong with that. It's
Ooh.
nothing
No,
wrong with that.
I like doing that. Like,
I
I
like
don't know.
that.
I
I
know
like
he
that
hates
too.
it, but I love it.
It's nothing wrong with that. It's your treat. That's your treat. I think that every man should be treated. Not on the first date. So don't get me confused. Not on the first date.
I like that.
But yes, every man should be treated, especially if this is your man and he's taking care of you.
Mhm.
You should definitely take him out on a date
Absolutely.
and reverse that role. There's nothing wrong with that. And
Absolutely.
make sure that he know when that thing flip back. Okay.
Put the car right
So,
over.
yeah,
Don't
all
pull
right.
the child.
Yeah, but yes, I think that's important. Yes.
Now, what about being invited out of town?
By who?
A man.
I mean, oh yeah, I already told you when I'm invited anyway. If you invite me, I'm not paying for anything. I mean, not that I'm not. I will.
I get that.
If we have that conversation, I will. But yeah, if we don't have that conversation and you say, well, yeah, I'm gonna need you to take care of this, take care of that, and because I was invited out of town, and he
Mhm.
said to me, only thing I want you to do is just grab some snacks so we can eat on the road, and
Okay.
just you can take care of the gas going. I think it was going or coming back. I don't know. Everything else was already paid for. I didn't have to worry about anything, and I'm thinking snacks and gas, that's nothing.
Yeah.
When you're going away for
For the price of
7
the trip.
days.
I think, yeah, and I think another thing is like we pay a lot of attention to like all these, get ready with me's and these get ready for me's with these trips that we see on TikToks and on reels and stuff like that, where people are talking about how these people are doing these lavish things for them, but some of us don't live in that type of society. Like we don't live like that. So
Well,
and sometimes you can't afford the $5,000 trip all on your own.
Mhm.
So if you can chip in on the gas, you can grab some snacks. That's a big
Yes.
difference, and that makes a big help in the dating experience. And that kind of shows that person that this is somebody I can build something with. This is somebody we can have mutual respect for each other, and somebody who will chip in when I'm not able to do it. I think that's valuable, especially when you're dating. Like,
and we all need to also recognize that people do these things as their business.
Mhm.
This is what they do for work.
Oh,
It
talk-
may
you
not
talk about those
necessarily be.
experiences?
Yes, it may not be what their life look like.
Mm.
This
That's
can
what
be
they're showing
something
you.
that they're portraying.
Yeah.
And we all try to live up. Not me, but I know a lot of people try to live up to those things, and that's just not realistic. If you
It's not
cannot
real life.
if you cannot afford it, please don't try. It's just so not worth it because you're going to be unhappy in the end, because you're going to be paying out money that you
Yeah.
more than likely don't have to try to make these people on the internet or whomever they think that you have it like this and you really don't. It's just not necessary. The person who you're doing it for will probably appreciate it more if it's coming, I would say, from your heart
Mm.
and you're making it personalized to them and what they like. They may not want all of that other stuff. They may listen, what they like and what they want. And they may
Yeah.
not want to do all of that stuff. They just not that may not be their character.
Yeah. And what about you, Toy? You ever had an experience like that?
No, I never had an experience like that, but I always been like on ready mode, just in case,
Mhm.
like
Just in case.
like I'm ready. Like even if when going out of town, like you never know, like if things get into an argument or something like that. I'm always on
and I
ready
gotta get
mode.
home.
have to be.
Exactly.
You have to be.
Exactly.
Like I always got my money set
Mhm.
aside,
Exactly. So
But I
when-
have, I'm gonna see how far, he's gonna go with the invite. But I'm ready to, chip in and
Mhm.
everything. But I'm just always prepared. You just never know.
Yeah.
always have your pocketbook ready.
And to segue
Always.
off of that, what would be a reasonable amount of time that you would give you and the person that you're dating before you would go out of town?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a
Yeah,
good one.
because
I would-
that, yeah.
I would say it took the first time I went out of town with a man, it took a year of me knowing. But not just me knowing him.
Mhm.
Like my family knew him.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
can't trust everyone. We
Right.
see things all the times on the news of craziness happen.
Oh my gosh. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm so scared. That's why
Yeah.
I'd be so hesitant to be like, oh, if you want to take a trip out of the state, out of the country, oh, nothing. Oh, we gonna have to see a little bit. But I
Yeah.
feel like I need to do a full background check, get to know all of your family members, and we have to be together for 6 months to a year. I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
that is reasonable. 6
Yeah.
months to a year is definitely reasonable because in that time you'll know, at least you won't know the person like, oh, I know him. It won't be that type of conversation,
Yeah.
but you'll know whether or not he's gonna leave you whatever y'all are. Like what type of conversations y'all will have that will lead to an argument. So as though you would have to pay for your trip back. Y'all you'll know that if y'all done already had arguments. So y'all can argue for 15 minutes. And then 10 minutes later he's like, all right, what we gonna do? Those type of conversations.
Yeah.
If you can't argue with a person and then 10 or 20 minutes later, he's like, all right, man, it's not even worth it. I don't even know what we're arguing about, but you got it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you do need extra time, but it should never be a conversation unless it's, that you need to like leave somebody on a trip. That is crazy. That is crazy, especially a man who has been with you from what we say? 8?
I said 6. I said 6 months to a year. But do you
6
think it
months
should be
to a
longer?
year? No, I mean that's fine. 6 to 8. I mean 6 months to a year. They're not gonna want to just leave you. Like you're somebody that who they invested this amount of time, and they're not gonna want to just leave you out there. They'll probably bring you back and just put you out the car and you going your way and they go their way. But they're not just gonna leave you. You should definitely invest that amount of time into getting to know the person and knowing their character. Then you'll know, whether or not this person,
So it made me think about this video I saw. It was a female. She just met this guy. So they was basically speaking, like some pictures of him out to him. So she's at the airport, and the guy like, no, you're not coming with me,
Oh, wow.
and he's not paying for her flight back
Oh, wow.
because she didn't look the part of what
she did on social
what
media.
she showed on social media.
Yeah, no, I mean that's whole catfish. Like, I mean, I'm sorry.
She said, no, that's a catfish.
Yeah, I mean,
it's on her own, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, she know what she asked for it. I mean, you can't like that's why. Okay,
But
this is
listen,
my rule.
she didn't look bad.
Not that she didn't look bad, but I'm saying you can't make yourself up all whatever that she was doing, obviously, to make him think that she was something that she didn't show up as. So I'm not saying that he was 100% right in leaving that girl. But at the same time, you have to present yourself. Whoever you are, this is who you need to presenting. Why you are presenting yourself. You can't.
You got that makeup on, have it on. You got that wig on.
Listen, I say it all the time. For me, I purposely make sure that I don't have a fresh retwist. I'm going to definitely look by. I'm definitely going. No, don't be scruffy. But what I'm saying is, I'm not a person that wear a lot of makeup anyway. So that's not going to happen. But I'll put a little bit of eye stuff on. But what you get is what you see. You're never going to see a picture and be like, oh, and you see me and you're like, who the hell is that? It's never going to be that because I purposely make sure because I'm not going to always be in the mood or even have time to fix myself all the way up to the, you know what I'm saying? And then it leaves nothing for them to be like, when they do see you get at your best, like, ooh,
Mhm. I see that.
that's my,
Mhm.
I get that.
I purposely make sure that not that I'm going looking scruffy. I'm still, I'm gonna be doing my thing, but I don't like. I fix my hair and everything is neat and tidy, but it's not gonna be me at 100%. I can tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I see that.
Mm-mm. Because I don't want you to think that when you wake up in the morning, that's what you're gonna see. Even though I get that all the time, but no. Yeah, I know.
I get it, and I get it, and I feel for the catfish because like I don't want to call her that, but like she's
That's what it is.
I get it, but
a little bit.
She probably, she had an early flight. She had to hurry up, get to the airport.
And this is why he
and
should have
things.
seen. He should have seen her that way. That's what I'm saying. You can't only show a person when you made. Show a person when you're made up
She
and
should
all
have done
that.
the FaceTime with the bonnet.
Yes, the bonnet and yes, wash your face, brush your teeth.
I get it.
Let him see what he's
understand that part,
getting.
but I do still feel like he was in the wrong for leaving her at the
Yeah,
fucking
he should
airport with no way
definitely
to get
not have
home.
left her like
I think that's wrong. I think that's
I
messed up.
I completely agree.
But also, why would she put herself in that predicament and not have the means to get herself
Where's your
back home?
pocketbook?
I was getting ready to say
You
that.
gotta
And
do
like
it.
when I tell you, she was trying to force herself into his vehicle, saying no,
Oh, wow.
no.
Yeah.
Like, so she
Because
didn't have the means.
she could have put
Yeah.
herself in a situation where she could have gotten hurt
It's dangerous.
simply because
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, men get crazy.
And then you said they had just met. You have to get to know people and know what their intentions are. His
Yeah.
intentions for her were not genuine. They were not, because if they were,
even if what it was, why she didn't show up looking like what it was?
it was.
That's my thing.
Show up like the picture.
Oh, yeah, you know what it is.
Put the same outfit on.
I was thinking about because of that picture that I like, and you come up here looking like, oh, okay,
Well, yeah. I mean, if you know what it is, you know what it is.
She knew what it was.
I'm not about that life, so I don't know what it is. I just know that me personally, in my life, I don't have time to be getting up and spending 2 hours in the bathroom getting ready and all that other shit. I'm not doing that for nobody, not even myself. I'm not doing it unless I have an occasion. If I have an occasion to go to and we need to get from head to toe, deck down and all that, I'll do that. But on a daily basis, I'm not doing that. This is what you get. If this is not what you want, then go ahead and move along, because this is who I am.
I think a man should always see a woman without.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
Definitely.
they should.
Yeah. So they don't know what what they're gonna get. And they're not surprised. Yeah, no surprises. Yes, I agree.
Do y'all want to bring in guests on the second half?
Sure. So ain't right. Somebody ready? Who ready?
What's the second question?
Is there a timeline?
Is there a timeline? And then we already did that one. I like the timeline one. I like this one. I like this one, and maybe this one as a closing one. I'm not really. I don't like that one that much.
I don't know. I was
Maybe because I disagree with you. Maybe that's why. I don't like it.
but y'all still live.
You said you didn't hit record?
Not for the second half.
Oh.
Y'all still
So
live.
which one don't you like, Shawty?
The one about does
The
the woman
eyes.
want men for? I like this one actually. But does
This
women?
one.
Yeah. Does
Okay,
women
what's the
want
next one
men
you
for
like?
Sex more than men want women for sex.
What's the next one?
I like this one. Is
How do you really?
How do you really feel when a men undress you with their eyes? Is it a
Okay.
compliment or is it disrespectful?
Okay.
I also like the one is there a timeline for when you have sex after a certain amount?
Yeah. Okay.
I like
I
that
like
one.
either one. So we can do both.
Okay. Yeah. The one like that's 50 to like pick a side. It's like sometimes women want you just for that, and sometimes men want you just for that, and it's like
I
know?
get you.
it's not. Oh, that's the one.
I'm waiting for her to come in. I might have to do y'all
Did she
earphones.
message? I don't know if she messaged us.
I might have to do y'all earphones.
Am I on here?
Yeah,
I
she
knew
on.
she was gonna hop on. No, I can hear.
I heard something.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear.
I can hear a little bit.
You have to turn.
Mhm.
How y'all?
Hey.
Baby, I can hear you.
Say something. Can y'all hear her?
Go ahead, say something again, sis.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Oh, all right, we can hear you, too.
Yeah, that's
We can hear you,
what it
sir.
All right, so are you ready for the second half?
Yeah. Did we introduce the guys?
Yeah.
My name is Kapowski.
Hold on
Okay.
1 second. When the screen record gets open up, I'm gonna add her into it.
All right, just let us know when to introduce her.
Hey, Coco.
Say hi.
Hey, Cootie Mama.
Say
Hey,
hi.
Cootie Mama. Where she at?
Stay there.
I don't see culture.
Oh, you done cut me off.
I think you're gonna fix it.
All right.
Okay,
So,
looks like we're being joined by somebody on StreamYard. Kapowski from Baltimore, Maryland. How you doing, girl?
Hi guys.
Hey,
Hey.
welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
welcome.
So we're just gonna hop into a few other topics. Go ahead and interject whenever you feel like you got something to say. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Bo.
All right, ladies. So the next question I wanted to ask is there a timeline on when you sleep with a man?
I
It
think we
depends
should
on
let.
the man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Expound. What else do you give us
Yeah.
some?
Why do you feel that way?
Because you already know if you're gonna do it or not when you already meet that person. If you're when you're already on a date and when you're already out. So you can go out with Lil Jon and be like, no, that is not for me. But then you can go out with Ryan the next day and be like, oh yeah, I'm about to jump his bones right after this.
I think okay.
I can agree. I can definitely agree. We do know what not that we're gonna do it, but we definitely know whether or not we want to do it. Because when we see a person, it can be a connection there, but once you get that first kiss, you're like, there's really not a connection. It's just he just have a good conversation. And I was just feeling that maybe that wine felt a little good.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think it should be a timeline. I think you should definitely get to know a person.
But what's the time? Give us a time frame. Like, do you have that?
No, I don't think that there's a specific time frame. I think it just depends on the individual. Because if you want to have a one night stand with a person, and you're a consenting adult, I believe that you should do that. It's completely up to your prerogative. But I think that for me, I should say, there's definitely not a timeline. I definitely know. I'm not going to say when I first go out with a guy, but I give it room to see if it's going to go somewhere else, because the first date, there's a lot of sometimes you're a little nervous. He could be a little nervous. The conversation may not go the way that you want it. The vibes may not be flowing.
Okay.
It just depends. So I think it's just you should definitely feel your way through before you let somebody else's energy interject with yours.
So can I ask a question?
Go
Sure.
ahead.
So in the event that you have a timeline and then you finally get it and then be like, man, this was some bull
Trash.
crap. Then what? Like, how do you do you feel like
No,
it
I
was a waste of
like
time, or
that.
did you be
I
like,
love that follow up. I love that follow up because I agree 100%. I think there should be a timeline because, I mean, of course, when you start seeing someone, you go on a date with them, whether or not that person is it. I've had experiences where I went out with someone, they asked for a kiss. I said, no, that's not the one, not him. But on instances where you're like, okay, this person, I might could see myself intimate or in a relationship with this person. I don't think you should give it right to them. I think you should wait a little bit. Because they feel the same way. And I feel like you have to kind of build that I don't know, you kind of like let that passion intensify.
Yes, you should.
That's what I think. But if you do get it and it's trash, I think it's time to go ahead and cut that off.
So how do you back up from it? Like after you wait all of that time, and then I think that for me, like I said before, the emotional connection has to be there. No, it has to be more of an emotional, a mental.
It has to be more than physical.
It has to be way more than physical, because that's the only way that I am gonna be able to even let you kiss me.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time might be trash, but he may be trainable.
Oh, that's a good point too. Because what if it's just nerves?
And he's nervous.
Excitement.
Exactly.
Like it could be that too.
So
I've experienced that.
Kapowski, what do you say about that? Would you give him another chance, or?
I feel like it's your first time, so you better show out.
So if he don't show out, he's done.
Obviously, she said yes.
She said you're done.
Yeah, I believe you should definitely because nerves could definitely play a part. I've been in that situation where nerves definitely, and it, Lord have mercy, and we knew each other for a while, and this was like what do you call it? Like uh, this was a no. I was not supposed to go over in that zone.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I was not
He was
supposed to
forbidden.
go.
He was
He was
off-
forbidden.
forbidden fruit.
Yeah, and
And
not
that's why
be-
it was so tempting.
yeah, and not because he was involved with nobody else, just because of his relationship with a person that I love dearly. Okay, of the same sex. Okay,
Oh.
and and I was not supposed to go there, and he was nervous, and I was like, hold on, I had to ask. Yeah, I had to ask my baby. Listen.
I'm about to do
What's
research
wrong
on
with
that.
him?
I don't know
What's
who that
going
is.
on with him? Because it was the performance was a little. He was like, no, sometimes we get nervous. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool. I'll give him another chance.
So did you give him
And when I
another
gave him
chance?
the second chance, it was, of course, we had 4 babies.
Oh.
We had 4 babies. Yes, we had 4 babies.
Okay, so it worked out for you.
It worked out. It worked out.
Not
Yeah.
y'all for the streets.
You better know it.
I love that. No, because that's a really good perspective. Because I think when Kapowski posed the question, it's just like, oh, of course, if it's trash, we're done with the trash.
Yeah.
You
could
have
be
to kinda
passing
take
up.
into that. Yeah, you could be passing up on something that's going to be really valuable for your life and in the long term. So I like that perspective.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
What about you? Hold on. What about you?
Yeah. What about you, Toy? What's going on with you?
Okay. I would say no, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna use an example. Let's say you're speaking with someone, holding conversation,
Mhm.
and you're getting to know that person, and then you have an emotional connection.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like say it goes on for a month or two and y'all finally get together and y'all go out on your first date. You already have the emotional connection and then you see each other. It's like, oh my goodness, you look as good as I saw you and everything.
Mhm.
And like the whole date is perfect. Like the chemistry is there. I already had the emotional. I got the
Yeah.
chemistry. Let's go for what we
Yeah.
know.
Once that emotional part
Yeah.
is there, it's easy from there. It's easy. I mean, for some people, I'll say.
It's a big part of it. I agree.
Because I mean, even if the sex is like trash, as y'all would say it, but I believe that you have to teach people what you like. Because they may be trying some things on you that they didn't try with somebody else, and it worked for the other person, but it's just not working for you. So you have to be verbal in what you like.
They need to be
and the things that
coachable.
that's okay. Yeah,
Coachable.
coachable, and that's yes.
Yeah.
Because he could be like, "Nah, girl, I got this. I know what I'm doing," and you're like,
Nope.
"Mm-mm."
Don't be afraid to speak and be like, no,
Yes,
no.
that is important. No, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That right there gonna give me. I'm gonna be up in a minute.
Follow my direction.
That's a really good point. So it don't got to be perfect the first time, but you got to be perfect after he takes.
Well, not even
So that follow up better be strong.
It should be strong. It don't have to be perfect.
Let's have let's bring it to the table.
Let's bring it to the
Talk
table.
about it a little bit. 'Cause
Yes.
that was cool. But
Yes.
here's how you can improve.
And
I like
ladies,
that.
you can do that. You can use that.
Absolutely can.
Let's bring it to the table.
Their ego's not that fragile. It's not.
And they will prefer that you tell them what you like versus not telling them, and you're just not, because they can feel it. Like if you're dealing with somebody who is really keen on energy and things like that, they're gonna feel that you're not into it, and then it's gonna, you don't want them to get used to. Okay, well, I just better go ahead and get mine because I know she ain't gonna get hers. So I bet you don't even want to be in a relationship. It should always be where your energy is going and working together.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Well, that's a good question. All right, what's the next one? That's
All right, let's see. So next thing I want to ask, you know how you can see a man when he's staring at you, do the up and down look at you. So I guess my question is, would you take that as a compliment? Like you just caught him looking at you and he don't hurry up and look away. He give that little extra look like,
it's on
yeah, I'm
purpose.
looking at you.
Yeah.
Is that, do you take that as a compliment or do you feel, like a little disrespected, a little offended?
I feel with the look is totally fine. I feel that when disrespectful words come out of their mouth, that's when I feel disrespected. I can say probably when I was younger, I got hit on a lot by older guys.
Mm.
It was so I felt so, oh my gosh, I felt so dirty. I felt like I wanted to go in the house, put some sweatpants on,
Mhm.
put a hoodie on, because I knew that that's not how they should have been looking at me.
Yeah.
But now, when people look at me, it's not in a disrespectful way. It's basically they're admiring, what they're seeing, and it's not like, yeah, I don't, I can't make the faces, but it's not in a disrespectful manner. It's just basically in admiration. So I don't I just, notice it and keep it moving. I'm not interested. I appreciate the fact that you are, um, or that my natural body can catch your attention. Being as
Mm.
though that there's so many things out here, people are enhancing their bodies in so many ways, and it's not that there's nothing wrong with it because you do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can still admire a woman who has had 5 babies, and can still and can walk down the street and still turn heads. I mean, I appreciate it. I have no problem with
I
it.
love that. I do. I love that. And I'm all for the adoration. I never feel disrespected. I'm like, oh, you look at shit. I must be doing something right. I don't feel, I mean, maybe you're right. When maybe I was in high school and maybe I was a little younger, it was a little weird for me because that was like, I know these people aren't supposed to be looking at me like that. But as I've come of age, I'm always flattered. I don't feel disrespect in it until it crosses a lot of disrespect with the words or the and then it could be in certain instances. That's like when I'm going out or if I'm, out on the street. But say this happens to me professionally or I'm in the office and somebody's looking at me like that, that's extremely uncomfortable. And it's something that I can't like that's something that I can't kind of ignore and that I would want to be like, hey, this is definitely not the place for that. And I can't take it lightly, but in any other instance, I think I'd be a little flattered. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But how about you, Toy? I mean, you work in,
And I'm sure you've had the experiences.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Mm.
That's the best word I can say. It's very awkward. When I see a guy, notice that he's giving me that look, like I'm like, dang it, why did I see him looking?
Mhm.
Because now he know that I saw him. It's just that awkwardness. Like, how
Yeah.
fast can I get away? Is he still going to look at me while I'm
Yeah.
running away? And
You feel like you need to put that cloak on and just
and he is.
it's awkward, and
Yeah.
and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It does. I know why you're looking at me. I appreciate it, but it still make me feel uncomfortable.
Is
Yeah.
it only at the workplace or is just in general?
In general, it
Okay.
really makes me feel uncomfortable because it's like, okay, let me hurry up and get out of eyesight. But
Mm.
So, I mean, just to piggyback off of that, have you ever noticed somebody that you felt that was attractive and you just stared just an extra minute or an extra second, 5 seconds?
honestly, when I was younger, like many, many years ago, but I never would let them know that I see them. It would be,
Okay.
Kind of like, oh,
like I'm not gonna let you know I see you, but I come across where a guy looking at you and you look and he'll let you know I'm looking like,
Mhm.
you don't stop.
like
They do
to me that's awkward and I start to feel uncomfortable.
Okay. Kapowski?
What you think?
I don't think it's disrespectful. I think that it becomes disrespectful when they start getting like too familiar, like touching and stuff like that. But no, you want to look at me? Buy me a drink. Shit, it costs to look at me.
Something.
I
Very
know
much
that's right.
something.
Mhm.
I like that. I mean, because
Yeah.
I think there's a certain power and attractiveness, and I think it's okay to embrace that, even though it may be a little bit awkward at first because maybe, and this was my experience back in my 20s. It was like I wasn't used to getting this type of attention, and it made me feel uncomfortable for that reason. But once you realize that that type of attention can maybe benefit you in some way, like hey, Kapowski, let me grab a drink off him too.
No, for real.
So
I got one more question.
okay. All right, so Kapowski, thank you so much for coming on. We love you so much.
We love you.
And
Love y'all
we're gonna add
too.
somebody. We're gonna add somebody.
But stay in though. Stay on
Stay
though.
here.
Okay, all right.
All right, Will. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having
Hey,
me.
Will. You're welcome.
How you doing, Will? You have something you want to add to the conversation? What's your take on being ogled by men? You have familiar experiences with that?
Um, you know,
I love
I'm not really sure my opinion. I guess from what perspective am I supposed to be speaking from? Like personally as myself?
Always personally of
Yeah,
yourself.
of
Always.
course. Yeah, what's your experience?
Well, it's interesting. I'm a personal trainer, fitness coach by trade, and I can say that like getting in really good shape has helped me empathize with like women's experience of dealing with the quote unquote male gaze. Ultimately, I think a lot of times I'm just too much in my head regardless. You never know what people are thinking or what they're really looking at. So I guess what I'm trying to say is my highest point of view is if I'm using my time to think about what other people are thinking about, I'm wasting my time. Even though it's definitely a real factor that can be pretty annoying. And I realize I enjoy the privilege of like, being, bigger and being able to defend myself more likely just because of physical size. While ladies, they don't have that option. Like if you see a guy looking at you, you do have to think about it at least as like, is this guy dangerous? I can see that like I get to enjoy that while ladies don't. And I guess that's my opinion. I'm sorry, I wasn't watching you guys right when you guys were talking, so I'm not quite hip to where we're at.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. And I definitely agree with you when when you spoke about women just not knowing what the outcome would be and the man size versus the woman. I mean that's why I just say appreciate it and keep it moving. You don't necessarily have to engage, because you honestly you can't control a person's what they look at or what direction they're going to stare in. So if that's their choice, then that's fine. But just appreciate it and keep it moving.
Yeah. I think Will has a really good perspective because as a man, you don't really think about how they're perceived by women sometimes, how it might make them uncomfortable.
Right.
So I'm glad that you kind of chimed in, Will, because that's a perspective that I didn't think about before. Thank you for that, and I agree. Like that admiration part, thanks and keep it moving. Why
Yeah.
it don't have to be more than that.
Yeah, don't be so stalkerish and creepy with it. Just, admire and keep it moving. Even with the women looking at the men, who look good to them. It's okay to look, but you don't have to make them feel uncomfortable as well. Because obviously women can do that.
It's funny you say that, if I may say so. I find that that's a very common woman flirtation uh, strategy. It's like I'm just gonna look at you until you come talk to me, and then oftentimes if you don't come talk to me, they catch an attitude. So it's very interesting you say that. I mean, we're opposite sides of humanity. Well, it depends on what you think. That's what I think. So it makes sense that we have opposite strategies, and it's just interesting you say that. I definitely have found, not that I deal with this all the time. I wish I did. That's what ladies will do. They'll be like, "Well, I'm looking at you. What else do I need to do?" Am I
Right.
wrong? Though? That's just my perspective.
I mean, I cannot personally say that that's something that I do, but I don't know. What about you ladies?
I mean, I've never done
Sometimes
that.
Yeah.
sometimes I would look at somebody, but I'm not like staring them down like, oh, you better look at me because I want you. Like I'm not looking like that. I'm like, oh, all right, okay, I see you, Lord. But then that's
Yeah,
it.
it's just a glance, and then
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the type of woman where I would feel as though I want a man to approach me. So if I see you staring, and it depends on how you staring. Like if you're staring and you just like we have to make eye contact, and you still looking away, you licking your lips and all that, I'm probably just gonna look away. Like,
Because I'm
I mean,
uncomfortable at that point.
you are weird.
No,
Like,
but
Well, maybe that's what Will was saying. Like, Will,
Yeah.
are you saying like the female is looking at the man as to get him to come over to her.
She wants the approach.
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to elicit.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm comfortable with approaching, so I don't feel like I would do anything like that. I'm sorry to be dealing with those type of like scary ass women, but I think I think women should probably get a little bit more comfortable with going after what they like, because men like that too. It's like, oh, okay, he fine. Let me see if he want to talk to me. Let me see if he want to, I think that would make men feel a little bit more comfortable. Whereas men do not have that issue at fucking all. They will come and approach what they look at. So I think you're right. It's just looking at the situation from different perspectives. Men do things one way and women tend to do things another way.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
What about the other question? Do you want to answer the other question, Will? About the timeline?
Okay. Will, is there a timeline when far as people sleeping with one another? Is there a timeline for it?
After your first date, like what's the timeline?
I'm sorry. Give me 1 sec. I'm having a little sound problem. I'm cutting my fan off. Can you repeat that?
Well, let me ask you a different question.
Okay.
If you invite a female out, do you always pay the bill? Like your invitation, is it you taking care of the bill?
Well, yeah, no, if I ask a woman out, I pay for the date for sure. I have a more traditional perspective than uh common parlance though. I have been on dates where a lady acted in a way where we went Dutch and we never spoke again. But that was like we weren't compatible. But yeah, no, 99.9% of the time I pay.
But if y'all not compatible, it's Dutch.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like, that's one of my ways of expressing disinterest politely.
But you invite her out.
Right. But the thing is, you find someone attractive, but you don't really know them. You see the surface things, you might see surface behaviors, and as soon as you get anywhere below the surface, it's like, yeah, it's not for me.
So, what are some of those behaviors that she displayed that caused you to change your mind?
I'm not sure how personal I want to get, but I can
Okay.
Okay.
she just
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you more information, but she displayed traits that I really didn't find attractive. I can say this one in particular, she was really on her misandry or man hate. And I'm a really curious person, and I was really trying to talk to her about it, and it was like, man, you have a lot of issues to work out. And I didn't say that out loud, but speaking with her, that was my conclusion in a very short period of time. And it was like, those issues are a personal problem, and
Yeah.
she was just obviously in a place of deep conflict and frustration, and we barely knew each other. So I knew it had nothing to do with me. But you know how people are, their conflicts and frustrations often become misplaced. And why would I lay on those tracks?
I agree. I mean, and if you already decided that that was the person that you wanted to continue on, I think that, you had every right to end your date the way that you wanted to. Thank
Well,
you so
yeah,
much for coming on, Will. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That was really valuable perspective. Thanks, Will.
thanks for having me. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
All right, ladies, this has been a wonderful first episode of Bring It to the
Yeah.
Table.
And just if I can add, I'm just for all of you all out there in podcast world, when you come in and you join in with us, we want to get as personal as we can. And we don't want to invade anybody's privacy, but this is a real talk. We are bringing it to the table.
Share your
Okay?
experiences. We want to
Share
hear.
experiences, because you never know what your experiences how it will help somebody else.
Mhm.
So
So thanks, Will. Thanks, Kapowski.
yes,
Y'all
we appreciate
enjoy.
you. Yes, we appreciate you guys.
All right, ladies, salute.
Yes.
Next time.
Till next time.
fun. That was fun. That was very. Woo! All right, we gotta get some